It's Reylo Day. Hey guys, it's the Rebel Scum podcast. I'm James, and joining me from across the pond is
Brock.
Hey Brock. How's the weather over there?
It's snowing. How's the weather there?
I don't know. I'm inside. So tomorrow, or later today, I guess, by the time this goes up, it is a Valentine's Day, and we thought, what better way to celebrate a holiday than send you away somewhere cold?
Yeah, I'm on Blue Mountain in Ontario near Collingwood. I'm on a ski hill, working, not skiing. So.
And do you ski? Do you ski?
Do I ski? No, not really. I snowboarded once.
You snowboarded once.
Once.
Half pipe.
Half pipe.
Half pipe's actually going on right now while we're doing this, but I will sit here and record. Well, we're going to talk about Reylo, because Reylo is a big topic of discussion for Star Wars fans all across the interwebs. So, Brock, when was the first time you heard of Reylo, and what were your thoughts on it?
Probably on this podcast. Oh my God, we're shipping it. But maybe before that, I don't know. I mean, it's just the typical procedure now, it seems, with any type of media, specifically storytelling, like movies or books. It's like, oh, those two characters, they have to get together because they're male and female, or they show some possible inkling of an attraction. Therefore, and I'm not criticizing everyone. That's what we all do. We watch a movie or read a book and we're like, oh, there's a main male and there's a main female and they're not married. Oh, they must get together. So it's not surprising. I just feel like at this point, do we really talk about them? I mean, I guess, well, the real question is, when we say Reylo, how do we mean it? Like, we put them in a relationship because they have to be, or is it romantic? Is it platonic? Like, what is the rules on this?
That's a good question. I think, look, for me, when I first watched The Force Awakens, I never thought of Reylo. I didn't, because I was expecting Rey to be related to a Skywalker in some way, shape, or form, and that it looks like they're deviating from that because of something we're going to talk about in a little while. And then people started bringing up the Reylo thing, and even after, when they weren't related, well, I still kind of thought they could be related, but I just never really bought into the Reylo thing. And I know J.J. Abrams hinted at it a little bit in the commentary for A Force Awakens, but it's called Force Awakens now, not The Force Awakens, so we should all change it from TFA to AFA. I've now renamed the Star Wars movie, but I don't know. There's something. Look, I have nothing against the Reylo thing. I'm not fully on board with it yet either, because I mean, look, it looked like we were going to get a hardcore in The Last Jedi as that movie was going on, especially when Ben had his top off. The only thing better than his hair are his pecs. But I just exactly what you said, because there's a main male and a main female, we get the urge to ship, unless of course it's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, then we ship them anyway. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with I don't foresee Reylo appearing again. I felt like that was it was one of those things that was set up by JJ, and Rian Johnson just took a lightsaber to it and swatted it down like old Ben Kenobi said, "Oh, Reylo, yeah, no, get out." You know, and now it's up to JJ to bring it back. Whether or not he will, we're going to find out. Did you get that sense, though? Were you expecting more Reylo in The Last Jedi?
I knew that there would be a connection. I think, like, you can't have two young Force wielders, Force users, and they don't connect somewhat, especially when there isn't a prevalent amount of Force users. So, and, you know, they have a duel at the end of Force Awakens, so like, they're not done. There's gonna be, even if it's not romantic, there's going to be retribution of some sort. So I don't know. It's I think it was, and let's boil it down. Like I've said before, they're kind of the main characters. One of them is a villain, therefore they're gonna clash in some form. So yeah,
I thought it made sense for them. Because, I posed this question months ago, and one of our viewers, Janet Rubio, called me out on it. I said, well, if they're not related, what's the connect? Like, what is the weight of their war? Like, what is it? Like Luke and Vader. Where's the emotional impact that their fight's gonna have? Because in the Force Awakens, that's the one thing that's missing from their lightsaber battle at the end is there's no real weight to that fight. Like, who cares? Like, they have no history together. There's no connection between them other than he took off his mask and looked at her. You know, there's not much there. We don't know who either of them. We know who Ben is, but we have no idea who Rey is. And so that whole scene falls. It doesn't fall flat, but it has the potential to be even greater if there is something there. It's one of those things where if they played the arc out fully and we find out in the third one more about their connection, then the weight of that scene is a lot stronger. And I just said, I don't know if they're not related, I don't know what it is. And Janet Rubio, like I said, called me out and she goes, well, because they're in love. That's the weight of it, is that it's their relationship connection. Now, I'm not 100%, I'm still not sold on them being in love necessarily. Janet, don't kill me on this one. But they definitely have a connection of some sort. Yeah. And it's that connection that carries the weight. And I'm hoping the connection is more than just Snoke melding their minds.
Yeah. I mean, after Last Jedi, I'm not against there being a romantic relationship, but, like, he kind of messes with their head in this one. So it's like, you could easily, very easily say Kylo is a liar. So it's like, why would we want that to happen? But I don't think anyone could fight that there is going to be there's some reason why these connect. Even though Snoke is the one that said it, but it continues to sort of happen even once he's out of the loop. So there's more to it than that, and I think we're going to see that more in, hopefully, Episode 9.
Do you think Snoke was bullcrapping them? That he didn't meld that mindset? He knew it was happening, but it wasn't him? Do you think there's something stronger?
Possibly. You could easily make it that way, and it's not hard to change or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. I actually kind of hope that is the case, that there's a reason why this connection works. So, yeah.
Before we go into this anymore, let's just talk about one quick thing. We are on Patreon.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so I'll quickly just run down what's on Patreon. If you're on Patreon, you're going to get something a little bit special this week because next week's episode, I'll send a message to all the Patreon so you all know what's going on there. For $1, you get early access and our new show, Cloning Around, which will be all about the Clone Wars show. We're working on that. That will be coming very, very soon. Rebels starts February 19th, so I'm very excited for that. Brock, move to your left a little bit, please. For $2, you get early access, Cloning Around, and a Star Wars documentary that Andrew is working on. I promise to show you his crazy database of all of the it's color coded. He has like every novel, every show, every planet. It is honestly, it's so insane, and you guys would be. You'd be blown away by what he's got there. For $3, you get every single thing I just said, plus have your emails and theories and top fives and whatnot mentioned on this show on Scavenger Scum. We want to read it. We want to hear it. We want you to be involved. And for $10, you get to be Rebel Scum yourself. You get every single thing I just said, plus you get to appear on Duel of the Fates, Vote of Confidence, or Flying Casual. It's a lot of fun. We've done it. Watch Duel of the Fates. Last month we did it on the 29th of January. We did it with Den Allen, and it was a lot of fun. He faced off against Andrew Fantasia. It's so much fun to be a part. So that's for $10. You get to be Rebel Scum yourself, and every single person in Patreon is in our Last Jedi Blu-ray contest. Yeah, everybody there, you might win the Blu-ray, unless you just want a digital copy, which reportedly is coming out on March 14th.
Woo!
Yeah, so if you just want the digital copy, let us know, and we'll ship that to you. We're talking shipping a little bit more later on. So that's a lot of fun, and we're gonna, because if the March 14th ends up being real, if that's the actual release date for the digital copy of it, we might announce the winner of the contest sooner than planned, but I think around March 10th or so, we will get the winner of that out there, just so you guys all know what's going on. Let's get back to Reylo. So, this is known as the Skywalker Saga. We know that the Game of Thrones creators have been hired to come in, and they're going to oversee a whole new, fresh saga. From what we assume, we don't really know much about what's been discussed there whatsoever. We're all just kind of saying, oh, it's a brand new saga. Well, I think they did say a new saga. But Skywalker is an important name in Star Wars. It is the name in Star Wars. And so one has to assume, which you should never do, but you should, that the Skywalker name won't go away for good. That they will finish this saga, move on to their other saga, do the Rian Johnson trilogy, do their spin-offs and one-offs and this off and that off. But at some point, someone's going to say, I need my Skywalker film. How do, if they plan on that, how do they get to more Skywalkers? Do all roads lead to Reylo, and do those roads lead to Reylo babies? Just say yes. Just say yes.
I don't. It just feels tired, man. Like, it's like, I agree that Skywalker is important, but like, really, like.
Well, it is. There's 6 movies about Skywalker.
There's tons of people that could do the Force, could wield the Force.
But the thing that you're missing, though, is Star Wars isn't about that. Star Wars is about the Skywalkers.
Up until now we like. I think that's. I mean, this is one of the never tell me the odds. Like, I feel like we're just gonna move away from that.
But at some point, you got to feel like money talks, and Skywalker, as Star Wars, like that's what. Like, at some point, someone's gonna say we need to go back and milk that.
Yeah, I'm not saying completely erase it, but I don't know. Like, personally, I could be done without there being a Skywalker in everything we do. If there is nothing after Luke, and the only Skywalker after Leia is Ben, but like, quite frankly, I don't see Ben surviving the next movie. Like, if he does, great. I love Adam Driver. I want him in like a lot of movies, but like, I just feel I don't know. Like, I love Last Jedi, but I don't have any faith that these characters live past 9, just because you've kind of written yourself into a corner where it's like, if you do anything else besides some like massive explosion where they both go down or something, I don't know what it is. It's like, well, then what's the point? What is the point for going through this roller coaster? It's not a Sam and Diane situation or Jim and Pam or whatever you want. Like, you don't want these. I know people probably still want it, but like, there's nothing to make these two come together, quite frankly. Like, but again, like, I'm not disrespecting the Skywalker lineage, but like, we can't do anything, because unless we do like a reboot or somebody goes back in time and like stops everything from happening the way it does, I don't know how you get yourself out of it. Like.
But isn't that a cheap ending if you just kill off Kylo in the next one?
I think it's the logical, like, these two are going at it, and they are finding that middle ground, but then Kylo, in my opinion, again, like, this is all my opinion, like, Kylo ruins anything, because Rey isn't gonna, like, bend over backwards to obey what he wants. Like, she's seen through that. Even though there isn't a dialogue at the end, it's like she looks at him through this connection and walks away. I mean, there's probably a million ways to prove me wrong. It's just not the vibe I feel at the end of that movie. I think there's a throwdown of some sort, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's where you would think it's headed. But I just think, look, if you're just going to spend 9 killing off Kylo, it's just, like, what's so great about him? And I think if this, like, they're calling it the Skywalker Saga, which kind of makes me think that going down the road, the other sagas they have are all going to be something saga, and that's how they're differentiating again around everything. But you're calling it the Skywalker saga. So Skywalker has to have some importance to this whole thing. Well, and we're all saying that Ben is the Skywalker, that Kylo is the Skywalker, but it could be Luke. Luke could just be the Skywalker, and he could play a factor in 9 because we have no idea what's coming up in 9. But love, Brock, is a very powerful thing, and it can, you could have a giant falling out, but your heart will always belong to that other one.
I'm looking for ways to agree with you. I mean, let's use the example of the Harry Potter series to an extent. In not so much love between main characters, but like you have the character of Draco, who is like the villain more or less throughout until Voldemort comes in. Spoilers. And at the end, he could have acted, but he doesn't act. And then, like, for the rest of his life, because if you've read the prologue of the last Harry Potter, it's sort of like he does find love and whatever, and there is a respect between him and Harry, but like he can still be the villain and still be considered evil, but like somewhat be rectified at the end. That's a way of doing it. I don't know.
I'm not saying he has to be redeemed. I just don't think killing him off is like. It just seems, it's so obvious. Like, we're going to go into this movie, he's going to die at the end, and we're going to be like...
Yeah, but what else is there? He's not going to be, like you just said, and we've talked about it before, he's not going to be redeemed. That would seem bogus. And, like, I don't know, like, there's got to be... I feel like there's a showdown. I don't know, like, I don't buy it. Then you have one movie to, like, make some relationship that is just non-existent. Like, it's just not there. Like, it would be neat, I guess. But again, like, I feel, as much as it's not a smart move, I feel like Lucasfilm, like, well, we want to send off these old characters and start these new characters. Like, they want to make their own characters. They want to go and do their thing. Like, Akbar is dead, for crying out loud. Who's next? Like, R2 and 3PO? Possibly. Like, R2's barely in that movie. It's BB-8. I'm not saying Lucasfilm, but you know what I mean? The new regime of Lucasfilm. I don't get it. You get a new, I totally understand. You get a new boss. He wants to change up everything that, like, he doesn't like in the business. So I don't have a problem with that because, I don't know, do you want more Star Wars movies? This is the only way we get them. Again, though, like, I'm not saying just erase those existence of it, but I don't see where you find a... But again, I'm not writing these movies. I trust J.J. Abrams. I trust Rian Johnson. Whatever they want to do, I don't know.
What does that have to do with Kylo dying?
Because that's like, what else you can
But
do
if they want their new characters to go on, wouldn't they keep Kylo alive?
I don't know. Like, I don't, like, after the last one, I don't know where you go with those characters. Because it's all Kylo worries about is having power.
But now he has the power. That's what I think is going to be so fascinating about Kylo. Somebody mentioned in the comment, I think it was a comment, or maybe it was a message. They said, wouldn't it be awesome if Kylo is the supreme leader of the galaxy and the galaxy loves Kylo? Like, they think he is fantastic. They don't realize that he's actually a sack of poo. And so you have, like, this resistance that needs to come and do away with him, but the galaxy is just in love with him. And not the way they were with the Empire. Like, they genuinely like Kylo. And he's actually doing a good job. That would be, to me, a better ending to everything than just killing him off, is if he is, like, actually the leader of the galaxy and he's doing a hell of a job at it. I would just like if they're like, and he's the Emperor, and you're like,
the movie would open with that, maybe? Like, a couple years have passed, and somehow he's turned the New Order into, like you said, like, he just goes and he makes it seem like I could get behind that. That'd be cool, but, like, I
think that'd be awesome. Because then the Resistance would be the bad guys in this movie. Like, that would totally flip it on its head. I think that would that would make it so much, that would be so enjoyable to see. Just like the good guys are the bad guys and the bad guys are the good guys. Like, they were in the originals, but now it's like even more because Kylo is so loved. You're like, oh, wow. Look, the whole thing is he's like, I'm going to finish what you started with Vader. and we were all like, he's going to finish killing the Jedi. No, it was leading the galaxy, bringing peace to the galaxy. What does he say? We'll rule the galaxy as father and son. That's all Darth Vader wanted. If you watch the prequels, Anakin has a mindset like, this is how you achieve peace. This is how you achieve peace. It's tunnel vision, and he might have been right. And Kylo now has the piece of that Vader never ever had, and I love that aspect of it.
I don't know. We shall see. I don't even know what to say is going to happen next. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what? Would it be confusing if, like, we start up in a movie that's more or less right after the other one? You know what I mean? Like, we just lose those gaps in general. Like you and I have talked about this before. We think there's going to be a definite usual amount of time, like all the other Star Wars movies have, but, like, what if they just made it like one long thing? It all happens in the space of like 4 weeks or something like that. That'd be crazy.
It'd be crazy. If you do it that way, then make more than 3 movies. Because the thing with The Last Jedi, and I like The Last Jedi, is just it loses something and it happening immediately. And we talk about it all the time. It's that slow space chase. It's like that only happens because the movie has to take place 2 seconds, but also, you know, I've talked about the time. I think the time is askew a little bit where Acto takes place here and then we're over here. It's not so immediate, but yeah. If you, look, I don't think J.J. Abrams will handcuff himself. I think J.J. Abrams knows how to play in this sandbox. He's very good at playing in this sandbox. I think, you know, he's not very good at finishing trilogies, but I think trilogies, finishing anything. everything he's ended has kind of been on a whimper, but I really think that he's going to come through here and take this one home. That's what I think. I think when I first heard that it was JJ over Rian Johnson for 9, I was like, oof, like everybody was, and everybody that says that they weren't, they're bullcrapping, because everybody was super excited for Rian Johnson's the possibility of Rian Johnson doing 9, and then it was JJ. There was disappointment. And if you don't believe me, we have videos on this channel. Maybe I'll read those comments next week. So go back there and start deleting them. Maybe we're so excited. But then after watching Last Jedi, I said it on our review. I'm like, JJ is the guy. We need that next movie needs to be the popcorn. It needs to be the Han Solo, the solo movie, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
Yeah. I can't count how many times people in real life are like, explain to me why it's a good movie. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, why is this my call? Like, any other movie, it's like, I didn't like that, I did like that. But now, because it's Star Wars, it's like, I don't have to. Why do I have to make up for it? Like, I just like that movie. You don't like it?
Star Wars is in like this strange place because the diehards are diehards, but then, like you said a few weeks ago, some people are butthurt over it. Some people didn't like it. I think some people that didn't like it, and you mentioned this with one of your friends, is you know, they love Star Wars, but that was not the Star Wars they wanted. Yeah. And really, it's not. I wouldn't even fault that of anybody. I would just say, look, you've had something in your life, depending on how old you are, your entire life, and then you throw a curveball. And yeah, people are disappointed in it because it is a curveball. And but sometimes you need to take a step to the side to figure out where you're going. And I think JJ is going to... Look, I think I say this next week. But look, they tried something. To some people, they failed. To some people, they succeeded. Regardless of anything, Lucasfilm now can look at it and say, well, from The Last Jedi, we know this, and this. Let's touch on these. Let's X-nay these. And we'll play a little bit with these and see what happens. I don't think every movie is going to be like The Last Jedi for all the people like, I'm going to boycott Star Wars. Well, that's fine, but guess what? You're going to buy a banana and there's going to be a sticker of a Praetorian Guard on it because you can't escape Star Wars. But look, I think they learned their lessons. And I think, look, Solo is what Solo was always going to be. And I like now, just side Akbar here. now, all of a sudden, there are news articles coming out about how this Solo script was written, was in development before the Disney acquisition. Like, watch our channel, man. Like, I've been talking about, I did a whole video on it like a month and a half ago about that. Like, we talked about it like 6 months ago. This is common knowledge. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, where are all these articles coming from about
Yeah.
this? Because I think this actually is Lucasfilm trying to be like, no, look, or you know, like this is gonna be different from Last Jedi because this is a George Lucas thing. There's also reports that George Lucas directed some of the Han Solo movie, which I don't know how that works with the Directors Guild, because I'm pretty sure Ron Howard's a part of it, and George Lucas might not be. But anyway, I think The Last Jedi is a film that everybody needs to get over on some level.
Yeah.
You know, including the saga. And I think that's a good thing. I really think it's a good thing. I think that will make the next one even better.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Never
Tell me the odds.
You can't see the graphic right now.
I cannot.
So here we go. Today's odds are brought to you well, you know what? These are brought to us by the Den of Nerds. Josh, pay up. Give us your shill money.
Denim Nerds.
Denim Nerds. The Den of Turds.
We're clever.
That's a Jacob Nixon. Thank you. All right, here we go. Where are the odds? The first odd, the odds of the Skywalker saga ending in 9. No, sorry. The odds of the Skywalker lineage not ending in 9 and being explored further.
I mean, I feel like I've said my thoughts on it, but like in the phrasing, like the phrasing of that could be sort of ambiguous. I think it's the end of Luke Skywalker's story outside of like if he doesn't come back as a Force ghost. But I'm not one to have them completely written off, so I want to go 30% that he will not be. Is that was the phrasing? Not end in 9, right?
Yeah.
30% that it. Yeah, 30%. I'm trying to remember like 70%, but yes. So no. Just as again, it's. I don't know.
I'm gonna go full Brock on it.
Yeah. No, I don't want to.
No,
that's how I feel.
I'm gonna go full because I just think that the Skywalker brand is so strong.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, you know, George Lucas went back and he said, "Here's 3 movies about the rise of Darth Vader and Darth Vader's Anakin Skywalker." That at some point, someone could be like, "This is the next Skywalker story." And I just, you know what, side part. What makes me laugh is when I watched The Force Awakens, I was like, are they just kind of redoing the Anakin story with Kylo? You know, that was in the back of my head. I'm like, are they trying to be like, hey, this is the right way to do it?
Yeah.
And then the backlash from it like 2 years later, and then the hatred for The Last Jedi. And I'm just laughing because you cannot win with terrible Star Wars fans. The amazing Star Wars fans, thank you guys, are amazing. And they're phenomenal. But the trolly Star Wars fans who don't actually like Star Wars but just like to like be mad at everything in the world, you can never appease them. And they've learned that. And they and Disney and Lucasfilm and J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy, they are all learning the hard way. This is why George Lucas said, "I'll take my $4 billion, thank you." And you know what? I'm gonna give it to charity because I'm a great guy. That is because you cannot win. We said this before. Star Wars is always going to be playing catch up, and it is hilarious to see.
I mean, you know what? You got to think about it too. It's like the trailers aren't. I mean, obviously, some of the biggest part of the trailers is when you see Han or Luke or Leia, especially in The Last Jedi. Like anytime you see Luke in that trailer, you're like, "Oh my god!" But like, it doesn't promote a story specifically about Luke. He's a vital part of the story, but the thing about Star Wars is it's a movie about a galaxy. So you see all these extra characters, and that's what you love about it. You have a main focus, of course, but like, yeah. So like, it's unfair, though it is the spine of the current saga, like, it's kind of unfair to just write everything else off. Anyways.
The Brock Minute.
Yes.
Well, because we don't have news today.
Yeah.
The next odd, the odds of Han referring to the Falcon as home in Solo.
what I'm conflicted about because I love that line, "Chewie, we're home." Like we have a we have a framed carpet that says it in our studio.
Which neither of us are in right now.
So I'm all in to do it, but for something about when I read this one, I was like, it doesn't feel like authentic Han. You know what I mean? But it is Han. But because we've had so much time with original trilogy Han that now we have a new Han and now he's gone. Han is gone. It's like that doesn't feel the same, but it's just as good. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. I'm just sharing my feelings. I'm gonna go 79%. Ooh.
I kind of like the idea where the getting goes. It's home. I'm gonna go 57%. So low on that one.
I would love if he takes control of the Millennium Falcon at the end. He's got through his problem and I love this old home. This is like home, and he hits the wall, just taps it, and a panel just falls off. He's like, I like it even better, and then it's like da 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 da.
Awesome. Hey, how far into the movie do you think it'll be before Han gets the Falcon? Not flies it. I think he's gonna fly it before he owns it. But I won't. Or no, wait. Sorry, that's not what I mean. At what point though do you think he's gonna get the Falcon?
I want to say close to the end. I don't know exactly where that Sabak game's gonna land, but I feel like Lando's gonna understand that he can't really fly the Falcon like Han can. You know what I mean? I think last week you said maybe he throws the game, and I'm like, yeah, I can see that working. That would make sense. But I don't know. But yeah, I think it's near the end. I feel like they have to get out of their problem, and his major victory is getting the ship that will make him the greatest pilot in the world or in the galaxy, right?
I watched someone's reaction to it, and they were complaining. They're like, Han tells us everything in A New Hope. I don't need to know his backstory. I'm like, but we're getting all the bullcrap that he says in the cantina scene is they're putting out. That's so exciting to see. It's just fun, man. Let's just have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait. Why can't we just have fun in the theater again? Why does everything have to be like? Wah!
What are the odds we'll get a trailer at some point? I don't know when, and hopefully it doesn't spoil the movie. But we see old clips with Han talking about stuff, and then it shows you, it's like, oh, hey, by the way, he's talking about this. I feel like that might spoil the movie, but wouldn't that be kind of cool? We see them playing cards, and you see he won this over a game. He's this pirate or whatever. I don't know. That would be kind of neat. It would be weird, kind of, but
I feel like had this movie come out a year after Last Jedi, that our first glimpse, a teaser, that's what a teaser would have been.
Yeah,
but because of the late marketing, I think a really talented fan is going to put that on YouTube, and we're all going to watch it and be like, this is the greatest thing ever.
It would be great if it was a special part of the DVD. It's see, this is this and that and this and that. I'm like, oh!
Harrison Ford spent a lot of time in that production talking to, we're going to talk about it next week, Aaron Reich and having whatnot. So I think this movie is going to be, like I said, hashtag third best Star Wars film.
Yeah.
I'm not swaying from that. I really think it is. And if we're going to talk about it next week, but you have to get past Aaron Reich. And I know a lot of people don't like him because of his voice or his hair. I don't know. But you just you have to separate him from Harrison Ford. I know Harrison Ford has been in that role for 40 years, but he hasn't. He's been in 4 movies, and that's a lot. But this guy is 10, 15 years younger character-wise, and the character needs to just feel like the character. You have to get past the look, get past the sound, and just accept the character. And it might be hard for some people, and it's fine if it is, but you just try. Just try, because if you don't, then there's no way you're going to even enjoy the movie, even if it is a great ride. So that's all. And finally, and this is your favorite one, the odds of Boba Fett appearing in Solo.
I'm going to go 50-50. I'm going to go full Brock because I really don't know. Because it's I could just be why? But at the same note, that would be so sweet. Even if we ends with that Jabba the Hutt thing I keep talking about, and he's just in the background, But yeah, I mean, who knows?
Josh has this idea where he gets the Vader hallway scene, but he gets it with like his flamethrower or something, and he just gets one badass moment in the movie. And I said to Josh, I'm like, I'm not. I don't care one way or another if he's in the movie, to be honest. But if he gets a scene like that, I'm all in. And why? And again, why not? Like, why not embrace what you have? This movie is essentially fluff. This is a fluff film.
Yeah.
Because it is about Han Solo being a scoundrel and a smuggler,
Yeah.
and it is a ride. So why not play that to its full potential?
Yeah, it's a prequel. It's like, you can love or hate the original prequels, but you all know what's going to happen. So it's just like, here's the extra details. So let's just have fun with it. Like, it looks like it's gonna be crazy. It looks like a western. Like, there's a freaking train in it. Like, I hope they rob that train. I'm like, boom, that's amazing. So.
Oh, totally. I think that's what it. Oh, and then Han's dressed like a Wookiee on that train. Everything about it looks good. I'm gonna go for Boba Fett though. I'm gonna go 71%. We're probably both off. It's probably 0%, but I'm gonna go 71 because why not? I mean, right now I'm gonna go balls to the walls on all this. It looks like it's gonna be fun. I know. Everyone knows how I feel about it, and so it doesn't even matter. I every night before bed, I warm up some hot water. I make Aaron a tea, and then I pour some Kool-Aid in mine. I stir it up, and I drink my Han Solo Kool-Aid before bed. It's nice and warm, so it puts me right to sleep.
That sounds disgusting.
Well, it's Kool-Aid. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly could not tell you the last time I had actual Kool-Aid. But the Han Solo one tastes pretty good. I'm very excited for it. Hey, can we briefly talk about George Lucas coming into the Han Solo film and supposedly directing a scene? Because
sure. I mean, okay.
I don't really know what there is to say, but I don't know, has it been announced what scene it was? I'm going to look quickly, because if I had to guess, I would say that he directed a car chase scene, like something to do with the cars, the pod cars.
That'd be kind of cool. It had like a slight homage to like American Graffiti somehow. I mean, I guess it could. I feel like though, wouldn't we know that? I mean, I know they're announcing it now, but wouldn't, like, with the whole drama of firing Lord and Miller and not having a director and then having Ron Howard show up, wouldn't you sort of counter everyone's like fear of the failure of this movie by like, oh, don't worry, George Lucas does a scene and everybody thinks it's spectacular? Like, I don't know. Stuff like that, like, that'd be cool if you found that out after the movie, but like, we don't keep secrets in Hollywood. It seems.
Okay.
Hollywood, I don't know if you knew that.
I got quotes from Uncle Ron on Collider.com.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what he said. He said George Lucas came by to visit the first day that I picked up shooting. So for everyone who doesn't know, Ron Howard directed Willow for George Lucas in the 80s, and George Lucas wanted Ron Howard to direct The Phantom Menace, but Ron Howard declined. So he goes, he came by to visit the first day that I picked up shooting. George and his wife Melody came by to pay a little visit. It made me feel great. Aw, Opie. He told me to just trust my instincts, I know he kind of fundamentally feels like, first and foremost, these films are sort of for 12-year-old boys, and yet even he knows that it's grown so far beyond that, and that fans have grown with the series in a great, important way. So he didn't offer a lot of advice except, you'll get this. And then he goes on to say, he had intended to just kind of stop by and say hi, and he stayed for 5 hours. There's even one little moment in a scene that, I can't tell you what, sorry, but in that scene on the Millennium Falcon where George said, why doesn't Han just do this? Obviously, he Fonzies it and punches something. It actually is a funny little bit that will probably get a laugh, and Ron happened to be by the monitor and not inside the Falcon, and he goes, oh, that's a great idea, and ran in and said, George wants us to do this. So that was pretty cool. I think George felt pretty great about that. He could revisit these characters, and I think he felt so comfortable. Obviously, with Ron being there, that was just fun for him. Oh, so that was Kathleen Kennedy that last little bit.
Mm.
Right there. So he didn't direct a scene, but he had input on something, which, again, there was reports that he did this for Rogue One as well.
Yeah. I mean, just out of, respect, I think Lucas should be allowed to come to any set whenever he wants. Not necessarily change up what they want to do, but, like, he should be like Stan Lee, where George Lucas is just in a scene. Like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
So,
I completely agree with that. He is, look, he created these things. He knows, he knows more than anybody about them.
yeah.
I wonder what his thoughts on Reylo are. All right, let's move on to the final topic today. Sorry, guys, it's a short one today, I guess. It's not too short. We're going top 5 Star Wars characters we would like to see shipped.
Ship it.
We are going to ship it real good. I'll go first on this one. I want to ship Jabba and Hondo, and they'd be John Doe. That's it.
Oh, boy.
I just want to ship Jabba.
My number 5 is Reylo, because I'm like, I respect what these two stand for. I just don't want it to be high up. And most of my ships are from the new trilogy, so I was kind of like tight for characters that you could ship together.
Really, then I'm interested to hear yours. My number 5 is Han and Chewie. They'd be Huey.
My number 4 is Han is Chewie and Maz, because she really likes that Wookiee.
They'd be Chaz.
Chaz.
Vader and Palpatine. Vapes.
My Finn and Rose, because I feel like they've made a point to do that at the end there. I don't find it as interesting, but sure, why not?
I did a video with Andrew months ago where we were like, well, that's obviously going to be the love story. This one, it just seemed really obvious. My number, what are we on? 2? I'm on 2. Finn and Rey, The Fray. The band The Fray.
It was going to be my number 2, or number 2 was going to be that as well, but I'm switching it up. I'm getting totally with it, Finn and Poe. The internet loves that. Like, sure, why not?
You gotta
they
ship Poe.
seem the most excited in the new trilogy to be together. Like,
I don't know. Yes, but also no, because Poe just seems happy to be near anybody, like BB-8 and Finn. And Finn's really excited to be with Rey. I don't know if you've seen it, but the entire movie is like, "Where's Rey? Where's Rey? Where's Rey?" So.
Finn and Poe. Why the hell?
Yeah, why not? And what's your number 1?
My number 1 is interesting because you did just mention it. Poe and BB-8. That is the relationship that I would watch 17 movies of. You would actually stop. Like, it's not a matter of I love Poe Dameron. Just make several characters like Poe Dameron, which is basically Luke and Han smushed together, and have him have a plucky droid walking around with him. I'll watch that movie over and over and over again. It's fun. Like, so that's the relationship I want to follow.
And my number 1 is Wicket and Snoke. Their name would be Woke, because Wicket is Snoke.
This has been Rebel Scum Podcast.
This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. I am on vacation next week, but we will be back talking. And I think you guys will get this on Wednesday at 7 p.m. next week. Not this episode, obviously, episode 82, Wednesday next week. I will be getting sunburn somewhere. Brock, you will be in more snow, I presume.
It's probably going to be like a warm shock, or what is it? Not cold. It's just going to be a heat wave while you're gone.
Heat wave. I don't care. It'll still be warmer where I am. So anyway, guys, have a happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully you can spend it with someone you love, or spend it with Brock.
Yeah. Everybody loves me.
Actually, that might be true. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And Brock, you were always scum.
Rebel scum.
TMM. Too much mouth.
Rock versus everybody.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.